Hi guys, it's Sarah from Farideh.ca, and today I'm really excited to interview with Farideh, who is a launch expert and tribe finder, and she also does these amazing music videos online. You have to check them out. They're absolutely hilarious and wonderful. And today we're going to be talking about sort of the biggest mistakes for when you're launching your ebook, and for you guys who are ready to launch right now, some advice for you guys right before you launch. So I'm so excited to do this interview, and here we go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I'm so excited. Like, I'm such a fan of yours. You are so cool. I love
Oh,
your
you're so sweet to me.
videos, and like your offerings just like kick ass. So
Oh,
I'm
you're
so
sweet.
excited to chat with you. Thank you for chatting with me today. Awesome. So I would love to know, like, tell me a bit about your business and who you are.
Sure. So my name is Faraday Caesar. I recently got married, and so remembering your last name is always a challenge.
Congrats.
Yeah, well, and also I haven't legally changed my name, but I like his last name better, so it's Caesar instead of Olsen. So that's why it's all confusing. I spent my first 15 years of entrepreneurship as a musician, an independent musician. I live in the middle of nowhere, Canada. You kind of live in the middle of nowhere, but you kind of live in the end of somewhere.
I'm
Like
closer
you,
to the water of nowhere.
yeah, you live,
I'm the other
yeah,
side
you
of
live at
nowhere.
the end of nowhere. Um, And so, just like touring is really hard. There's not much industry. So, I just grew up a musician. So I learned very young, like 13 or 14, that to be a successful musician, you needed to have that like business savvy and marketing savvy because the industry's changed so much.
Mhm.
So just fast forward, 5 records, international tours. I just kind of got tired of touring all the time. And I actually discovered that I had a greater love of marketing than I did music. Now I still perform. Obviously, I still even perform songs about this with my ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still recording, I'm still writing, but I wanted to spend more time at home and less time on the road.
Mm.
And so, yeah, so then I started out with this online business. I quit tour like a month into a tour, and I was just like, this isn't right. I was engaged. This mama bear button turned into me and was like, I don't want to raise my kids in a bus. So I better figure something else out. So, yeah. So, I started my online business, marketing strategy, and then most recently I changed into a launch strategy because,
Mm.
um, actually marketing strategists are launch strategists,
Mm.
but it's a little bit easier for people to understand. Sometimes it's all about just having the right word to describe what value you can provide for your clients.
Mm.
And also, the great thing is, like a musician, really, they do two things. Well, other than create their art, they build buzz and they launch. They
Mm.
launch, musicians launch albums, they launch tours, they launch videos, they launch special events. So it seemed really in line with my abilities, my genius zone. And people seem to be loving it, and I'm loving it.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. You can tell. I saw your post the other day. You have a new song that
Yeah.
you posted the other day. I love it. It's so good. I
Oh,
love how
good.
you found like you mesh your talents. I think that's absolutely amazing when you find someone who can do that so well. So I love how you combined, to make this awesome magic that you make. It's
It
so
is
great.
magic. I can't prepare them. I just kind of wait for the invisible stranger to descend upon me and give me a song. I try and take my inspiration from clients and people who tell me the challenges of running a business, and then I just try and have fun with it and make people laugh.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. So I would love to know what do you, a lot of my clients are sort of in the process of launching their ebooks. What would you
Hmm.
say is the biggest mistake people are making while launching their online products?
Well, I would say that your clients are avoiding what I would say is the biggest mistake, which
Mm.
is launching alone.
Mm.
I don't think you should ever launch alone. And that's because one, there's just like so many moving pieces. So what I think is a launch is very different than a regular business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not linear, if this makes sense. So generally, we wake up, we do a blog, we post the blog, and it's a very like linear understanding of marketing and promoting ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But an ebook or launching is exceptionally like non-linear. You got to like pull in your social media, and you got to pull in your, your one time, and you've got to pull in your affiliates and your publicity, and there's a tech stuff, and so it's not. I mean, it's not even it's not cyclical. It's just like it's a seven-pointed star, and so
Mm.
what happens is that people think, oh, I'm just doing a small launch. Oh, I'm just doing a little ebook. Oh, I'll just send an email to my list and tell them about it. And that'll be a great place to start. And then they call you or I, and they're like, I can't do this. Even a small one is so overwhelming. And it is. And so, yeah. And I think that a launch, it's not just launching, with the help of professionals, but it's also launching with the help of family and friends, like knowing that this is a big thing for you. I think one of the misconceptions that I know is launching is far more emotional than people realize. It's a very, I see my work as one part, the strategy, the marketing, the fun, but like a huge part of it is just encouraging them and being there for the emotions, because you're up leveling your business, right?
Yeah.
You're taking it to a whole new level. It's a different game. It's a different game when you have an ebook, because that's now a product in the world that positions you as an expert, and thinking, who am I to do this? Will people buy it? Will stop, is it worth it? All these things come up. And so that's another reason why you can't launch alone, because you need somebody to be there for you emotionally. Well, you need a team of people, your mama, your husband, your friend, probably 5 friends, a professional, a technical person, a VA, all behind you to launch. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I see that a lot too. Like when I do ebook design, it's more about how can we create this together so you're not overwhelmed by it. Because it's what you said, there's so much that goes into it. It just, it's not going to get done. I have a lot of clients who have had this book sitting on their desk for like a year, and it's like, you need that support to really get it done and to feel confident about it too. Because a lot of people are doing this for the first time, and they're like really anxious about their content and that sort of thing. So I love how you were talking about how it's emotional too, because it's so emotional. It's such a big thing. So I love that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. That would be my suggestion of the biggest mistake, but your clients aren't making those mistakes.
Awesome. Fantastic. So another question I have for you is, how important is it to build your tribe before you launch? Like, say if someone only has like 30 subscribers versus someone who has a few thousand, like what is your suggestions for growing your tribe before you launch?
So I think that, obviously the larger your tribe, the more likely you're going to have sales. But a large list doesn't exactly mean that you have a very engaged list. So you really want to develop these personal, strong relationships. Like you could have a list of 30 and sell 30. You could have a list of 2,000 and sell none. So it's not exactly, there's a 1 to 5% ratio that many people have, but there are lots of outside the norm experiences where it's far lower and far higher. What's important is that you have an engaged set of people who listen to or on your newsletter, but also in person. I think that that's one of the, especially when you're first launching, those people in your life who already know you, who could already benefit for you. Don't forget about that. It's like, for instance, if you have a program of, say 10 people, that you need to sell seats for, and your list is only 10 people long. Like it might make more sense for you just to reach out one-on-one to all these people, but also reach out to your connections. And the same thing with an ebook launch. There's this element of the personal touch. Personal touch still is king. So I think it's important we're always growing your tribe. And the cool thing about launching is that it's another way to grow your tribe, right? You're not just going to launch only one thing your whole life.
Yeah.
So you launch once, you launch a second time. I mean, the point of an ebook usually is that it's one of the first things that people get, they can buy without any kind of obligation. And so they first get to know you, they get a taste, and that kind of moves them into a stronger relationship with you and more likely to buy something else along the line or recommend it.
I love that it's about, growing your tribe as well. So it's
Yeah.
like not thinking about like, oh, if I don't, this is all about sales. No, this is another aspect of growing your tribe. Which
Yeah.
I think kind of changes the mentality of like from selling to just, nurturing and growing what you already have. So I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, with an ebook, it's generally an evergreen product. So as you continue to grow your tribe, there is something to sell them,
Mm,
which is, some people are still selling their ebook 2, 3, 4 years later.
yeah.
If
I
it's
love
really good. Yeah. And well designed.
it. Oh yeah, it's nice because having that passive income is just such, it feels so good. It feels
Yeah.
so good to have a little passive income in your business, that's for sure. Awesome. Great. So, another question I had for you was, so for people who are watching this right now and they're getting ready to launch their ebook, what would be like your biggest advice, a piece of advice for them for going forward with launching their ebook?
So the first thing I would do is tell your family, tell your friends what you're going to do and that you're going to need a little extra support.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would book your massage now for that launch week and, maybe make a Skype date with a friend or a phone date with a friend or maybe even just a ladies' night. I'd also put, so it's turning into a variety of suggestions.
That's absolutely fine.
The big thing I would say is sometimes people just kind of like launch. They just like,
Mm,
my ebook's ready instead of building some seduction and some
yeah.
some beforehand. So kind of sharing the behind the scenes, like, okay, this is what I'm working on. Here's a picture of me at my desk working on this. Here's a picture of my designer. Building that kind of that I'm calling it seduction right now. Who knows what it'll
Mm,
be in 5 minutes? Um, is so when it comes to selling it and you're telling like, hey, it's for sale, you don't have to be so salesy because you kind of told them what you were doing like a friend would, right?
mm.
So you said like, oh, if you were talking to your girlfriend, you'd be like, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. And now it's so your girlfriend's actually emotionally invested in your process because she's seen
Mm,
how much work you've done. She's seen that process and people love behind the scenes.
yeah.
And so, yeah, the selling part kind of a little bit easier because they know that it's coming.
I love that. So it's not selling, you're seducing them. So that's a good
Yes,
way to
you're
frame it.
seducing them.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I love that. Thank you so, so much. And also I'd love to know what's going on with you. What are you working on right now?
So I recently launched just a little opt-in called launchyourcourse.com. So if
Mm-hmm.
anybody's looking at launching their course, but even if they're looking at launching their ebook, you could probably get a lot from the little freebie. It's a 30-day launch plan,
Mm,
checklist, and calendar because that's what everybody said really needed was pulling all those to-do lists into one little document. And by
mm-hmm.
little document, I mean it's like 8, 12 pages. So it's not that little, but it's got all the things you might
It
need
covers
there.
all the bases. Yeah,
It
I
covers all the
downloaded it.
bases.
It's amazing. Everyone, you guys should all download it right now.
Yeah,
It's
so
absolutely amazing.
that's the big thing I'm working on, and then of course just helping people with their launches and learning about different kinds of launches.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I hope to in the fall have a course on launching.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm launching in I'm planning a launch in September and I've just been like eyeballing your launch strategy thing. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm getting her when that's on
When you're
the
ready.
forefront. So I'm just so excited to like work with you and just to see your amazing videos that you post and your awesome content. So thank you
Oh,
so
well,
much.
thanks for having me, Sarah. I had a great time.
Yeah, thank you.